Hey everybody, welcome to the Wadcast podcast. I'm your host, Eddie Ift. And, welcome to the interesting show I've got planned for you today. As always, we're talking strength, conditioning, wellness, fitness. Sometimes we get a little nerd out on CrossFit. Sometimes we nerd out a little bit on nutrition. Sometimes we just get a little freaky on the show. Today, we are getting into Murf. If you don't know what Murf is, you should know what Murf is because it's probably one of the most worldwide workouts to be done. It's done everywhere. CrossFit gyms, mostly. A lot in the military. Michael Murphy. I believe it was Michael P. Murphy. I don't want to get that wrong. I'm going to look it up to be sure because if any of you saw Lone Survivor, he is the... wow, that noise. Where's that coming from? Murph was the guy that he was one of the guys that lost his life in that battle and, fought till the end. And, it was exemplary of everything an American soldier should be. And, he went out there and put his life on the line for all of you. If you're listening to this, you're an American. And me, I'm not a raw, go America kind of guy. But you see the movie, you hear the stories, and you know that this guy, he was the real deal. This is the guy who went out there and fought for his brothers and fought for his family and fought for his countrymen. And so they devoted this workout, and they've done it all over the world. It's run a mile, 100 pull-ups, 200 push-ups, 300 squats, run a mile. Sometimes people think that sounds easy. Most of the time they know how hard it is. To do it in that order is really hard. And to make matters worse, you add a weight vest of 20 pounds. And that makes it horrendous. So many people have done it. Thousands and thousands, hundreds of thousands. Who knows? Maybe even 1 million people. I have no idea. But... it's a pretty awesome thing, and there's some really nice charities around it that you can donate to take care of, the fallen heroes. And there's a lot of, you look up Murph. I'm Googling it right now, Michael P. Murphy, and you will see that there are tons and tons of, I forgot to mention he was a Navy SEAL, which, they're pretty badass mofos. And this all happened where he died, and it was actually in 2005 in Afghanistan. So he received the Medal of Honor, and May 23rd of this year, as every Memorial Day, all the gyms all over the country, probably a lot around the world, participate in this workout. Like I said, again, I'm not one of the rah guys, but when I do it, I will admit I think about this guy. And when I think about how tough it is and I got to get through it, I think about what this guy went through in trying to, take care of his buddies and take care of his country and his family and everything he did. So so this year, there's a lot of guys that are really good at this. It's painful. Some of the top CrossFitters in the world are great at it. There's guys doing, there's guys that have done it for 24 hours straight. There's guys that have done it for 30 days in a row. Some people do doubles just back to back. It sucks. It's a really, really hard workout. And, if you're going to do it this year, do it. It's a really good thing to do. Look at this. He got the Purple Heart, the Silver Star, the Navy Medal of Honor. And he was a Penn State grad. Who knew that? I didn't know that. All right. Well, Hunter Mcintyre claims he's going to break the world record this year, and he is going out there, and Hunter is doing this all for charity. There is a charity for, I believe it's guys that are wounded in battle or something that's happened to them that it's a pretty good charity. I have Hunter on the show today. I also have, who else do I have on? I have so many people. It's just an awesome episode. And like I said, it's devoted to Murph. And I would like everybody to do that. Think about the guy when you do it. Do the workout. Suffer and enjoy the suffering. And dedicate it. Like, say to yourself, I'm going to do it. And, yeah, I'm the biggest piece of shit in the world, and I do it. So if I can do it, you can do it. Also, I'm not going to mention, I don't want to talk coronavirus. I don't want to talk any of that shit. I do want to thank everybody who supported this show. This show does not run without you guys. And like I said, I do have a Patreon. It's patreon.com/wadcast. And there's also, if you go to wadcastpodcast.com/Patreon, you can find it also. Every week we give away a different, someone gets, where was it? I saw we got a new, it's someone that won one this week. I picked them out. Our Patreon winner this week, if you donate, all you got to do is donate $5, and you get yourself you're going to get, what do you get? You get a leopard claw, and you get the leopard claw I've been using every single day lately to scrape my elbow to try to get all those adhesions out, all that clump. I'm actually doing something weird. I'm trying to get inflammation in there. I want to keep the inflammatory process going. I want it to start up because I have a bad tendon. Not that you need to know this shit. Like, you're like, why is he telling me about his tendon? I don't know why I'm telling you, but I'm just trying to tell you how important it is that you get a leopard claw and a myopux. The myopux I've been using too because it flushes all the waste out. It's the best thing in the world. I was on the phone with Gary Reinl, the iced guy, the other day, and just tell me how important it is. I talked to the guys from Move You. Everybody recommends you do this kind of stuff. You put on an electronic muscle stimulator like the myopux. You don't have one? Get one. Just give $5 to us. $5 a month. K Matthews. K, guess what? You're getting one. How's that feel? K Matthews, I got your email right there. We're going to message you, tell you how to get this. We'll have it sent to you, and you can work away on yourself. And I appreciate you supporting the show. This show would not be going without you guys. So thank you to each and every single one of you that donates, that listens. I just appreciate you listening. I appreciate you promoting it to your friends. And I appreciate you going on iTunes and rating, reviewing, commenting. I really, really, really do appreciate that. Maybe I'll pull up some of those. I love to read those, especially when they're nice. Also, what's going on? My live dates. I will be performing nowhere. However, if you have a company and you want to hire me, if you're doing any of these Zoom meetings, I have been doing those lately where corporations hire me to come do stand-up comedy to their guys as like a work thing. Like they know like everybody's sick of this shit, and maybe as a joke you have me come on and I talk to them. I will do it. Just message me, wadcastpodcast@yahoo.com, and we can work something out. Maybe for your gym, whatever it might be, I'll do it. I'm being innovative now. I'm looking at new ways to make a living because, who knows when stand-up comedy's ever coming back. So that's the kind of stuff I'm doing. And I'm whoring myself out there. I am also doing what else is going on? I got all kinds of crazy stuff going on. So if you have any questions, you can email me at wadcastpodcast@yahoo.com. If you need help, if you're in a bad way and there's anything I can do with my voice, with the fact that I have an audience out there that I can talk to, message me. If you're in trouble, let me know. These are tough times. If whatever it is, let me know, because nobody should be in trouble out there. That's lean on other people. So that's what I'm here for. Just send me a message and we'll see what we can do, see how we can help you out. I got a whole network of people. Maybe we can do something. So if you're an affiliate, you're in trouble and you need help, you need pointed in the right direction, we might need to know where you need to go. So that's what's great about this hashtag community. Other than that, I don't know how you guys are eating, but I actually have been eating the healthiest I've been eating. I need to be a little more strict about how much I'm eating, though, because somebody's starting to put on the weight. One of the reasons I am exercising, but I stay home all day long and I eat because I have such good food around now. And sometimes I don't because the grocery stores are hard to get stuff. But one great thing I have is we have Eat the 80. And if you're like, what's Eat the 80? Yeah, it's Eat the 80. It's the best tasting subscription meal out there. By far. I stand by this. I will not say this ever again about anyone else, because this is the number one best tasting. I want this chef to, if I ever become a billionaire, I'm hiring him to cook for me all day long. Whoever's cooking this, I got to find out from Eat the 80 who the guy is, or girl. He or she is amazing. And here's the best part. It's 100% gluten-free. It's like Whole30. If you want Whole30, you want vegetarian, you want keto, you want macrobalance, you just choose on their website. Check out their website, eatthE80.com. These meals come to you. You put them in the refrigerator, freezer, whatever you want. It takes 3 minutes to heat them up. 3 minutes. All the animal proteins ethically sourced. Very important to me, not just for nutrition reasons, but I don't like what they do with these crappy big farms and factory farms. So this is great. Their kitchen is super, super, super clean. They follow all the local, federal, state laws. And once you cook it over 150 degrees anyways, it's clean. And you're not going to have to worry about COVID. And it's vacuum sealed. So don't worry about any of that. And the staff's using protective gear when they're shipping this stuff. They're trying to take care of the trainers and gym owners out there, too. I just told my friend to do this at a gym. Get your clients on it, and they're going to give you 10% back to you. So if you talk your clients into doing it, just go to info@eatthE80.com. If you go to info@eatthE80.com, they will talk to you about what you need to do. So you can get you and your clients on it. And they've got a coupon code if you just want to order this. I'm telling you, it's so delicious. So delicious. They get the breakfast egg thing. Oh my God, it's so good. The meatloaf, every single thing I had was awesome. There was one thing with mushrooms in it. I don't like mushrooms. I actually liked it. The coupon code WAD40. WAD40 is going to get you $40 off your first 2 orders. So $20 off their first 2 for a total of $40. So you're going to do 2 orders, $20 off each one. And just trust me, this stuff is the best tasting stuff in the world. And I'm getting mad because I want all of you to message me and be like, all right, I broke down. I tried Eat the 80, and you're right. It's the best thing I've ever had in my life. That's how much I really believe in this. Eat the 80. eatthE80.com and info@eatthE80.com. So now let's get to this episode. I like I said, I talked to Carrie Pierce. I talked to John Sullivan, who did it, Murph 24 hours, did 13 rounds of it nonstop. Hunter Mcintyre is going to try to break the record. I wanted to talk to Josh Bridges because Josh supposedly has the record. We don't know. Nobody really knows where the record is. I wanted to talk to a bunch of people, but I got some good ones. I hope you enjoy this episode, and take care of yourselves. Be good, stay safe, stay healthy, work out, get ready for Murph, and let me know how it goes. All right, and tell me which vest I should wear, because I might do it with a vest this year. I might just do it. All right, so I think we're going to start this episode. And it's dedicated to Michael P. Murphy. So you guys be good. So I'm talking to John Sullivan right now. As I mentioned before, John Sullivan is the guy. He's the psychopath that did Murph for 24 hours straight. And to tell you the level of commitment this guy has to Murph, he agreed to do this call, and he's sitting in the delivery room right now. His wife's about to give birth. What's wrong with you, dude?
That's correct.
Congratulations, first of all.
Yeah. Thanks, Eddie.
Are you having a boy or a girl?
Thanks. Pretty cool, man. It's going to be a little boy.
Oh, congrats, man. Are you naming him Murph?
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's my third one. It's going to be Murph Sullivan, which is, just an honor.
It's just a typical Irish name.
Yeah, just want to make sure he's right with the heritage.
So where are you? You're in Philly somewhere, correct?
Yeah, man, I live right outside Philadelphia. Right now, I'm at Abington Hospital.
Okay, and are you like totally COVID-free, safe in like?
Yes, sir. Yeah, we actually, both of us. Actually, the place we were in, Montgomery County, was one of the first counties that got hit kind of bad. But we did the social distancing thing. Mary stayed home. I'm an essential worker, so I had to go to work. But wearing the masks and wash our hands a lot, and make sure we stay safe. Both of us got tested before we came to this facility here, so we're good. We're staying safe. We're doing well.
Did you get that Abbott Laboratories test, the one that's like 99.6%? Or did you do the nasal one?
Wifey got to do the easy one, and Dad got to do the one that they jam that
up your nose,
3-foot-long Q-tip up your nose. Which
how bad is that?
It's really bad.
Oh.
And I did Murph. For 24 hours straight, and I would rather do that again.
Are you serious?
Them stick that Q-tip into my brain. Yeah, and they hold it there for 10 seconds, and they count, while they're doing it.
Well, I've had it up my urethra a number of times, so.
Yeah. Damn, dude, normally that costs extra. You got to, negotiate that beforehand.
I one time went to a doctor after I thought I had an STD, and they told me I was negative. I went back, and I'm like, no, I'm sure I have it. And the doctor goes, well, I'm going to have to put this in. I'm going to have to put it in a lot farther then. And he goes, so you might want to hold on to the table because you might pass out.
Holy cow,
and then
man.
he goes, you'll probably pass out when I pull it out and you see blood. And I was like, whoa. You know what? I think I could live with an STD.
Yeah, certainly you weren't so sure. So now you're just going to negotiate with whatever females. You're like, hey, by the way, you might get this, but
yeah. Well, I don't have a lot of time with you because your wife's about to pop out your third child. I love how it's the third. You don't give a shit anymore. Like the first one, you're all about. Second one, you're like, yeah. Third one, you're like, it's going to come out anyways. I don't even need.
Yeah, I got to do this podcast, Mayor.
So
I don't understand.
When did you do the 24 hours of Murph?
Last year on Memorial Day. Okay. Memorial Day weekend. So I started on Sunday morning around 10 o'clock in the morning, and then I just went straight through the night until Monday morning, 10 o'clock the next day.
And did you ever, when it was over, you obviously go, I'm never going to do that again, and then did it start wearing off and you went, I might do this next year?
I get it somewhat. I mean, at first it was just I couldn't find any reason to do it again. I was like, why would I do that again? I don't always want to be the, Murph for 24 hours guy every Memorial Day. I think the thing that would make me do it again is if like a group, if the right group of people wanted to do it. I think that would be fun.
Right. And so you did it completely alone. You did it at a CrossFit gym?
No. So I was supposed to do it at a high school actually. And then the day before the high school, it was my old high school, the head of athletics called me and told me, hey, we can't let you do it there anymore because of legal liabilities with you being there overnight. And I was like, what do you mean? And then so I contacted a bunch of CrossFit gyms in the area, but nobody knew me because I work out of my house. So they all kind of who is this guy? Is he legit or not? Well, what ended up happening was I know a guy that owns a moon bounce rental company, right? He rents moon bounces to people.
Uh-huh.
And he had a warehouse.
What is a moon bounce? Like
one of those inflatable things you see at kids' parties.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Bouncy house. Yeah, I got it.
Bouncy house. Yeah. So he owns a bouncy house rental company, and it's got a big, giant garage door. It basically looks like what you would convert into a CrossFit gym. So I had a pull-up bar mounted in my garage. So I took it off the wall in my garage, and I screwed it in the wall in his warehouse. And then I did it at this bouncy house rental, warehouse. That's where I did Murph. That's
insane, dude.
It was kind of nuts.
So what kind of pull-up bar was it? Was it one that came off the wall, hung down from the wall?
It came off the wall, like one of the ones with the triangle brackets that fit on the wall.
I have one of those at my house, and I'm going to say for doing Murph, that would make your butterfly pull-ups. I don't know if you were doing dead hang, kipping, butterfly.
Yeah, I was some combination of kipping and butterfly. Basically whatever hurt less as it got longer and longer into it, you kind of have to not wear out each joint as much as possible.
How tall are you?
5'11".
Yeah, so you're about my height. So, but when you're doing butterflies on one of those kind of pull-up bars, you get close to the wall.
Oh yeah,
and it's annoying.
Yeah, and I tried it facing the wall and then facing away from the wall and everything. It was never really. There was never really an ideal situation for it, but by that point, you're just like, all right, well, we're just going to see what we can do here. There was no winning.
You had a vest on, correct?
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's not it's not Murph. It's a no rep.
What
I would say.
What kind of vest did you wear?
So that was a gift from my lovely wife who is over here right now. She got me the 5'11" Tech vest. I used to have a kind of a jankier one, and she said when I told her I was going to go for the world record, she went and splurged and got me the expensive, comfy one.
That's awesome.
And,
we'll tell her.
Said, if you're going to chase this, man,
tell her we said congratulations to her too. The other question I have for you: how bad did your hands tear?
Pretty bad. I had done like a 12-hour trial run a couple months before. Mm-hmm. So I had some hand wraps that were pretty light, like the normal ones you'd see gymnasts wear.
Right. And
I thought that would be sufficient, but that was probably that. My hands and my abs were surprisingly the most painful parts. So then I got these a little bit more robust, thicker hand wraps, but even then by round 9, the blisters were breaking, and then by round 10, now there was active blood. And then after that, it was just all right, the pull-ups are going to be the slow part.
What'd you get, 19 rounds?
13. I like 19, though. You can tell listeners 19, 19.
Anything more than 2 is superhero shit. If I did Murph twice in one day, I tell it on the show. I got Bell's palsy from doing Murph once. It's a long story, but I'm just amazed by this. Why did your abs hurt?
So I imagine from the butterfly or the kipping motion, right?
Oh, yeah. It's
one of the things you train for the push-ups, and when I originally started, the push-ups were probably the most uncomfortable part for me. So I worked on that a lot, and then I was pretty good with my form for the pull-ups, and then squats are just you just kind of suck it up. And I didn't count on that repetitive motion, and later on that day, I was going to tie my shoe, so I bent over at the waist to tie my shoe, and my abs locked up. And I started yelling and making that kind of noise you just did right there. And one of my buddies who was training with me was like, "Oh shit, he's having a heart attack. He's dying right now. Oh shit." I was like, "Thanks, man."
Wouldn't it be, kind of ironic that you're doing this for Michael Murphy because he died and you died doing it? He's probably sitting up there in heaven what are you doing, dude?
Yeah.
You didn't have
He's literally looking down going, this is not what I intended.
Are you a former military?
Yeah, I was. I was in the Navy.
Okay.
From 2005 to 2011.
Okay. What kind of thing did you do in the Navy?
I was actually a big nerd. I was a nuclear chemist.
Wow.
On board USS Enterprise. So my Navy experience was significantly different than the guy who we're doing this all for.
Yeah.
No guns or anything like that. Just I operated a nuclear power plant on board.
And what do you do? What do you do now that you're an essential worker?
I work at a nuclear power plant now. So I translated that experience right into a job outside, and it's still what I do now. I really like it.
Wow. And you were just a CrossFitter at home and got into this?
Yeah, I did CrossFit at a gym for a little while, but I couldn't. Once I had my daughter, my first kid, I couldn't come home from. I was working 12-hour shifts, right? So I couldn't come home from a 12-hour shift and be like, "All right, guys, it was cool. I'm going to CrossFit. See ya." And I like to train every day.
Yeah.
So I started, getting stuff off Craigslist, kettlebells, bumper plates, barbells of guys that started at CrossFit, and then after a month decided it wasn't for them. And so I got all my stuff used and built a pretty badass home gym.
Yeah.
And been doing that, for the past 9 years.
Do you follow any kind of programming, or did you have a special programming for this?
I've done a bunch of different programs. I like between what they are. When I first learned about Murph, the first time I ever did it, kind of just, I'll just go try this. And I think about halfway through the calisthenics part, I stopped and I was like, well, this is impossible. This is a joke. You have to be, you have to be a Navy SEAL who does nothing more more than push-ups, pull-ups, and running just to even attempt this. And then kind of hit reset on that, hey, stop being a bitch button in my head. And then, started doing it after that. And I think I was originally kind of racing with one of my buddies, right, trying to put up the faster time.
What was your fastest? I'd love to know.
My fastest, Murph?
Yeah.
32 something, somewhere in the 32 range. I never beat 32. I was trying to chase 30 at one point. And
that's with a vest.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're trying to find who had the world record, and the only thing we can find online.
I got a buddy who can do it in 30 minutes. So I know the CrossFit record is Bridges, and he did his in 34, I think, 34 and change at the games.
Hunter McIntyre is trying to go for the world record this year, and he's trying to do it for charity, and he's been working on it, and he thinks he's going to go around 28. But he's also doing it the proper way. I mean, not that any way is not the proper way, but he's going vest and unpartitioned. And I think that's awesome. That's why Josh is considered the record at 34, because he did 100, 200, 300 unpartitioned. So your buddy that goes sub 30, can he?
No, he does it partitioned. Now, I would say another one to check out, a guy who I've obviously done a lot of homework on, Murph. There's a guy named Jared Moon.
Jared
runs a
Moon.
website.
Okay.
Yeah, called End of 3 Fitness, and he does Murph at least weekly, and he's got some pretty good times.
Jared Moon.
Yep.
What did you see was his best time?
I know it's sub 30. Jeez. I don't know exactly. I can help you out with that too.
Sure.
I can cruise his website and
let me know.
Email you whatever times I find.
There's a guy also, some YouTuber did Murph every day for 30 days. And I think his name's CJ Fam Stott or something. And but I watched, and none of his videos showed him really doing the standards. You couldn't really see the angle, and I'm not gonna take it away from him. Even if you did shitty for 30 days, but I'm not going to give it to him because it didn't look to me like his squats were there. Who knows? I'm going to maybe try to get a hold of him, but yours, it looks like you did everything right, and I just can't believe you did it. Did you eat a lot of food doing it? How much did you eat? I lose you again.
Yeah, no, wait, I got you back, though.
Oh, okay. How much food did you eat?
That was probably the worst part that I did, to be honest. I talked to a guy who was a nutritionist afterwards who was like, tell me about your diet plan. I just ate a couple of peanut butter and jellies, a couple of bananas, a lot of the Haribo Gold gummy bears.
Uh-huh.
And that's my number one, fitness food. And then a lot of water. I drank some coffee in the middle of the night, and I had a chicken wrap at one point. But it was mostly PB&Js and gummy bears.
This sounds like the worst diet ever.
It's not a good diet. It's not. And then I drank at one point a Natter Day. I don't know if you ever had one of those.
No.
It's like a strawberry lemonade flavored Natty Light. It's delicious.
God.
Yeah. Highly recommend it.
I did an ultra marathon once that we ate some pretty crazy weird foods. I ate 2 double-doubles from In-N-Out at one point. I just couldn't get enough food in me, and so I get it. But I did a lot of electrolytes, and I don't know how bad you were sweating. I guess you were sweating pretty bad during this 30. So you were averaging almost 1 every 2 hours.
Yeah, it started off a little quicker, and then at about the halfway point, I was at 7.5 at 12 hours, and I was like, all right, and I was actually starting to feel pretty shitty.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah. My body was starting to hurt more than I thought, and starting to think some pretty just your brain starts playing tricks on you, going, hey man, if your heart explodes, you got at the time I had 2 kids, hey, your heart's going to explode and you're going to leave 2 kids without a dad because you're an idiot and you want to do Murph forever. It's not designed to be done like this. And you're like, all right, cool, thanks, brain.
Yeah, well, look, I've done some dumb stuff like that myself. Maybe not as dumb as this, but I've thought the same thing. The kids, why am I doing this? Yours was a great cause. I commend you for it. How sore were you afterwards? John?
Hey, I'm back, man. You keep going in and out.
How sore were you afterwards?
Extremely sore. The day afterwards, I basically just laid in the tub for like an hour or so, and but that was a Sunday, I think, and then I went back to Monday. You have off, right? No, I did it Sunday into Monday, so I took all Monday off, and then but I went back to work on Tuesday. So,
well, it's an
I was uncomfortable.
It's an incredible feat, and if anyone wants to try and challenge him, I dare you. Over what would it be? 14 rounds they'd have to do in 24 hours.
Yep, 14. If you have anybody that wants to do it, please tell them to contact me, and I'll show up, man. I'll cheer you on. I'll do the first round and the last round with you, man. I'd love for somebody to break it.
What's your Instagram so they can find you?
At Earn Your Break.
At Earn Your Break.
Me, brother.
I wish I talked to you last year, and I'd like to congratulate you then, but I'm glad I got you today because I want to say congratulations on doing this, but more importantly, congratulations on that third kid. I hope everything goes well. Stay safe, stay healthy, and good luck to mom there. And let's see how bad Hunter gets killed trying to break this record.
Best of luck, Hunter, man. I'm really excited for him, and I can't wait to check it out and hopefully watch it if he's going to stream it and listen to it on the podcast.
All right. Awesome talking to you, John. Thanks for being on.
You got it, Eddie.
All right. See ya. Hey, before we get into my next call, I want to talk to you about MacroStacks. What's MacroStacks? You get a subscription. You're going to have a free nutrition coach with your subscription. But what MacroStacks is, it's a web-based app where you are going to start plugging in everything you're eating. I tell everyone this when they want to lose weight. I'm like, you need to have a diary. You need to see what you're eating, and then you need to see where it all adds up. You can't just go, I ate this, I ate this, I ate this. You need to write down what you eat and then somehow see how much fat, how much protein, how much carbohydrates are in each, because it makes a difference. A calorie is not just a calorie. You hear that, calories just a calorie. It's not. We all know that. We all know about spiking your insulin, how much sugar you get, all those things. Well, go to MacroStacks. They have a database of like a billion. I'm not going to say a billion, but thousands and thousands of different foods in there. And if they don't, you can add them in and then they have it. But usually you just scan the barcode and it has it, and it'll say, hey, it had 4 grams of protein, 16 grams of carbohydrate, and 7 grams of fat, blah, blah, blah. And you know, by the end of the day, by the end of the week, you know how much you've eaten. You get to see, oh, wow, I'm eating way too much fat. Oh, wow, I'm eating way too many carbs. Oh, wow, I'm not eating enough protein, which exactly happened to me. This thing will really, really stay on you to stay in shape. And then if you have any problems, you can go to the nutritionist, which will coach you. They've got tons of recipes for you, for not just recipes. I mean, they've got it'll help you for meal prepping. There's a whole community there. You're just going to love it. Check them out. It's like I said, it's a web-based app. Don't go to the App Store to get it. You just go to macrostacks.com and you'll learn all about it. You want to get 25% off your MacroStacks subscription, visit macrostacks.com, enter and the code is WODcast. Okay? So, like I said, it's a web app. You can save it on your phone, so it'll be on your homepage. And they've got plans for you. It's probably the best app out there. I've used a few of them. I've used a lot for a long time, and this one is my favorite. So this web app's going to help you how much you eat. You're going to stay on track. And there's proof. If you talk to anybody who's been successful with losing weight or getting in shape, whatever, you got to keep to a plan, and this holds you accountable, okay? So it gets you into it. You'll see. Like, you'll become part of this community. They're going to give you, there's a private Facebook group. They're going to give you nutrition tips, advice. There's a nutritionist. You got a coach. You got your own coach. Everybody wants a nutrition coach. You got one on there. Check it out. macrostacks.com to learn more. Okay? Okay. Oh, aren't we lucky now? I've called in, I've found him hanging out in his backyard, spreading his COVID disease to everyone in the world. Hunter Mcintyre, who doesn't believe in social distancing. Just believes
I'm
in
social
mustaches.
distancing and sunning my butthole at the same time. Something you should take a little bit of time out of your day to do.
Have you tried sunning your butthole?
No, I'm not a fucking idiot.
I did it, and my wife and kid got really mad when I did it.
Because you exposed them to it?
I was just doing it in our front yard. You know, the neighbors were yelling.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a little strange. Anyway, more importantly, what are you trying to do? I probably explained it in the introduction. I always do the introductions after I record the show. So,
How much do I look like Fabio?
you don't look like Fabio. You look like Daryl Hall of Hall & Oates. Or
That
maybe
dude got
Oates.
mad pussy.
That dude got lots of the opposite of pussy. Because
Really?
they were gay.
Are you sure?
Positive. I
Were they
met.
boning each other?
I hung out with them in a gay bar one night.
Were they boning each other?
No. Well, they 69 each other. I
That's
wonder what
civilized.
it shouldn't be called a 69 when it's two guys. It should be like an H or something, like a double H. I don't know what it would be.
No, it's the same exact shape, dude. You got to look at it. You just swap them over. Why would it be any different?
Because there's like a, it'd be like, no.
I'm not reading what you're saying. I kind of do.
Picture
look
it,
like Fabio.
picture it. Look, think about it. You don't look
Look
like
at-
Fabio. Yes, you have long
This
hair.
caramel macchiato mustache.
Hunter wants you all to go to his Instagram to see his long, wavy red hair and his.
It's a mullet and it's glorious.
Do you see my? I got the retard. Oh, geez, I shouldn't say that word. That's terrible. I got the mullet cut. I look like Forrest Gump, basically.
I don't understand why everyone keeps on saying they have a mullet. They cut down the sides of their hair and then don't trim the back of their hair, and then they say they have a mullet. Let me give you just the defined description of a mullet. You have to have this like beaver tail of long hair in the back of your head, and you have to have short hair on top. So it's business in the front, party in the back.
Oh God, I hate that whole saying. Business.
Just so everyone can know, because I'm tired of the internet claiming they have mullets, because I've been working on this bad boy for almost a year now.
You're the only mullet in the world, Hunter. We know. Let's get back. Look. This show's all about excellence and seeing that you're the opposite of that. Let's get to.
Remember that time you said you were going to call me about 3-4 hours ago,
Dude,
and I sat by my phone as a friend to be ready, and I charged my phone, and I had all the information you wanted me to have on me, and then you blew me off.
this is not good podcasting. Let's just get to the point. People want to know.
I'm just going to hold you accountable. So your
Look,
fans know what guy you are.
you're getting an hour's worth of free publicity because I care about you. Because I care about you, and I know you need to do dumb things like this to get attention because you feel insignificant in this world.
Thanks.
All right. So, anyways, let's get to it. You're going to break the Murph World Record, which we don't even know what the world record is, and the Guinness Book of World Records won't even recognize you.
I mean, there's always a couple different ways you could paint a picture, and you made me look like an asshole.
Well, if the shoe fits. No, I commend you on what you're doing. I think you'll probably, if all the best CrossFitters in the world were to get together and had to qualify to do Murph, you would PR your way in, and you would finish with the best CrossFitters. I think you'd come in the top 10%.
Of the Murph workout?
Yep.
Not even fucking close, dude.
What do you think? You think you could beat every single top CrossFitter?
That's why I'm doing it, you jabron.
Okay, so why?
Why would I just do it? Why would I do it and say that I'm going to do it, and then all of a sudden be trampled like minutes later by everybody in the CrossFit world?
So why are you? First of all, let's state that everybody knows you're doing it with the vest, unpartitioned. And what's your best time so far?
31:58.
31:58. That's about. That's nothing. That's half the time I do it. I mean, I do it in probably 62. So, there, you can do it in half the time I do it. Big deal. With a vest, that's seriously true. It would take me like twice as long. You're doing it unpartitioned. You're doing all this stuff. Who's going to judge it?
This guy named Chris McNamara owns a gym down outside of Fort Bragg, and he's been a competitive CrossFit athlete for years, and he's part of some form of special forces in the military. So he got linked up with me, and currently, I mean, it's an ass trying to get all these guys together to put it together. I don't know why everyone's so difficult, but let's just say in a positive focus, we have a lot of really good CrossFitters who are coming. I think obviously the COVID thing's making it stressful and hard for people to put the details together. But, on May 23rd, we should have a really badass group doing it.
Is that May 23rd? Is that Memorial Day?
That's Memorial Day weekend.
Okay, and what is the charity? Most important.
Team RWB.
Team RWB, which is what?
This guy named Mike, Lieutenant Mike Irwin, was one of the founders of it, and I got connected through Chandler Smith. I contacted Chandler. I was like, I'm thinking about doing this thing. Would you want to get involved? And he goes, I know the exact guy you should get involved with. So they're basically a charity that focuses on making sure that troops, after they retire, have like a community to get together with and have a support group. And they usually do physical things like go do races and get together and have, like backyard throwdown type things. But it's a pretty awesome cause because I know a lot of people who've gone out of the military and it can be quite stressful unless you have like a total direct agenda that you want to do right when you get out. So I believe in that, and I'm really lucky to have their support.
So are you raising as much money for this as you did the firefighters when we did the 68-mile run?
No, because I think firefighters are jabrones, especially ones that live in Malibu.
Okay.
But for a cause that's noble and the people who actually do their jobs, I'm going to raise... We've put a benchmark up that's quite high, but I think we could probably get around the $20,000 range in the next month.
Okay. So how do people get involved in this?
On the link tree on my Instagram, the top link basically just shows you where you guys can raise money. It's my goal to give a couple $1,000s, whether I set the record or not. But been trying to get sponsors involved. Anybody who'd like to get involved, the least you could do is at least tell somebody about it, do the workout with us, or donate some money for the cause. And it's not a financial gain of mine by any means. I just want to get out there, work hard, have a blast, and seems like we got a really good crew together to get it started.
All right, we get it. Here, listen, let's get more to, if you want to raise big money, why don't you Don King this shit and get a promoter to say, hey, who's someone that you think, a top CrossFitter, that'd be good at this?
I already contacted Josh Bridges, wants nothing to do with it. Somebody like Matt Frazier and Rich Froning, they'll want nothing to do with it because it's not in their wheelhouse. Brent Fikowski, he lives in Canada. They're not going to let those guys cross the border.
Yeah, but what about this? What about if you get someone like a Rogue or somebody to just put up a chunk of money and say,
dude, if you want to know the honest truth, I've contacted every fucking company in the business, and I can't tell if everyone got fired or not, or if they're just lazy. Sometimes they'll answer the emails like, "Oh yeah, we're interested," and then I'll send them all the details.
I think it's more. I don't want to talk Corona shit or anything, but I think it's more of the former. I think I just talked to a company today that said that they bill millions of dollars every month, and they've only gotten paid hundreds of thousands of dollars this month. No one's paying their bills. So
sure.
Even if
I get it,
even if people look like they're still popular or their thing, whatever their product is and is in need, it doesn't mean people are paying them. So everybody's in a freak out, and it's hard to throw money around. But this could be, a very popular thing. I would rather watch a Murph throwdown between you and Frazier than watch some game shit. It's a very, very iconic workout. Everybody's done it. Not everybody, but a lot of people have done it, and it's hard as hell. It's exciting, and I could see there being a lot of interest. And it's a good time limit, around a half hour to watch. I mean, I guess it gets a little boring, especially because you're doing it unpartitioned. But so there aren't the rounds he's on round 6 and he's on round 8. I don't know.
Dude, half an hour goes by quickly. I hate baseball, and I'll sit there for hours chugging beers and watching people swing wooden bats at little, leather balls, and, people get excited about that bullshit.
Are you going to film it?
Oh, yeah.
And where are you going to put it up?
We have been doing a little docu-series lead up on my YouTube. I never really did YouTube before, but we figured we got cameras and we got nothing else to do in our free time, so we started leading up to it. We'll live stream it, and then we'll have a long-form documentary afterwards to kind of show the whole build-up and experience. And, I mean, we'll probably have it live streamed on several of the CrossFit guys' pages, and we'll film the whole thing so it looks professional, and you'll get to see the real ins and outs and behind the scenes experience. So
wait. So let me ask you a question. What do you think is the world record?
If I had to guess, probably the best time that's ever been done by a human, whether it was with like good, clean reps and some like real integrity behind the workout, I would probably say anywhere between 33 and 34 minutes.
Well, there's listed on some website as Josh Bridges at 34 minutes.
Yeah, but that's partitioned.
Yeah. Oh, it is partitioned.
Yeah, everybody. This is what's so annoying about this whole thing. I've started this whole campaign, and people keep on writing me. They're like, well, you're going to have to go up against the big, bad Josh Bridges, bro. Watch out. And I'm like, God damn it. Like, could you guys just pay attention or read half the post that I made? I'm doing it unpartitioned. Josh Bridges did it partitioned. You fucking run a podcast having to do with CrossFit. Haven't you done any research on
I have. I've got here a guy named Tim Rockenbosch said that he
sounds like a fucking chump.
Yeah, he said he saw somebody do 27:17.
Clearly. So let me do the math on that for you. If you did 2 5 flat miles with a 20-pound weight vest on, that would mean that you did your push-ups, your squats, and your pull-ups in 17 minutes. And I'm literally like going balls to the wall, moving the entire time, unbroken on squats, do my pull-ups in under 3 minutes. And I break, my push-ups are like around 7 minutes at this point, and like I'm barely stopping. Like the math doesn't fucking add up.
What are you doing? What are you doing your runs in?
I'm doing my runs in like 5:45s, and I'm a fucking stallion. And I'm sure this guy is from like Yugoslavia, and he's like this great, like part Ethiopian, part like gymnast, gold Olympics father. And, all this stuff. Everybody I've ever contacted in the build-up to this thing knows somebody who has a cousin who lives in Pennsylvania and has only, like, done push-ups his entire life and ran up hills with boulders in his backpack. Everybody has one of those people, but none of them exist, truthfully. And none of them actually, if you watch any of the videos of, like, people doing it, their push-ups are, like,
Yeah. I catch everybody cheating on the push-ups, and there's a guy who did it every day for a month, and he shows his before and after picture, and I'm like, I don't see a difference. And I just don't think his standards were there. I've been trying to get a hold of him to have him on the show, and you'd be amazed how hard it is to get a hold of these people.
Well, that's also why I decided to, I'm tired of looking. I contacted the people who have the Murf Challenge every single way possible. I contacted the Murf Challenge people on their Instagram page two times through their email chain. I had people who worked with them last year during Murf contact them, and they still haven't responded. So either everybody there has gotten coronavirus, or they their laptop stolen in some kind of burglary.
I did talk to John Sullivan today, who is the guy that did it for 24 hours straight. Yeah. And he did, I think he did 13 rounds. A super nice guy. He was in the middle. He called me from the delivery room. His wife was giving birth.
You didn't let me finish my point, and you just brought in this jabron story. Let me finish my point. No, he's not a jabron.
That guy's a good guy.
I'm sure he's a great guy. But what I'm trying to say is, I literally have contacted the Guinness Book of World Records and given $1,000 just to have this thing legitimized, because it is an amazing workout that has been established in the military community, the CrossFit community, has been done by millions of people around the world, celebrities, everything. It's an awesome experience, and it's a competitive event that deserves to have the same legitimacy as like the mile. So if the whole functional fitness community loves to do this thing so much, I was the person listen, at least I'm stepping up at this point with my money to get this thing legitimized. There's people like this. Yeah, I'm right here.
Yeah, okay. Go ahead. Sorry, I lost you.
I'm just saying, I'm in the attempts of trying to get it legitimized by the Guinness Book of World Records, so we at least have something that we consider to be a true standard for how to do this thing, and a true test and a true time that people can chase.
Well, to argue for you, I will say this. And the point you made about the mile, at first I was like, what are you talking about? The mile's iconic. But if you think about it, the amount of people that do Murf on Memorial Day is probably more than anybody ever doing the mile. Like, there's never a day where that many people are running the mile. Or even even a marathon. You know, if you think about like the New York City Marathon has 40,000 people in it, there's a lot more people probably doing Murf around the world on Memorial Day.
Dude, every marathon stacked together in the United States is probably going to struggle to reach the amount of people who do it globally on Memorial Day weekend.
So well, that's, you just compared apples and oranges because you went world against America.
Well, dude, I'm just saying, I'm just trying to make a comparative number. Let's say there's 1,000 marathons in the United States that all average up to 5,000 people running those things. If you think about it, try to think about how many gyms are CrossFit gyms are in the United States alone.
Right. Okay.
And then let's say each one of those CrossFit gyms had 50 members. And only
you're preaching to the choir because I agree with you. It should be something. There's enough people doing it that it should be recognized as something, the Guinness. So everybody out there that's listening to the show, if you can, send them a message. Do they have like a Twitter or something that you can bombard them and bug them?
I mean, I've been slamming them, and I'm DMing them on Instagram, and the channel that they've given me to communicate with them, which I paid a premium for, they don't respond to.
Yeah. They've probably all been fired.
Well, no, dude, they're posting every single day. I mean, this has to be probably the biggest social engagement they've had in a long time, reaching out towards their thing, if I imagine. I look at their...
All right, here's what I want. Write them back and say, I'm going to do the whole thing with a spoon in my mouth with a ping pong ball in the spoon, and I'll bet they approve it.
Yeah, I get it. Dude, trust me. I wrote back and I said to them, I was like, listen, I'm just going to list a few of the things that you've already recognized to be world records, and I just want to know why this stands and mine doesn't stand.
Have you tried this? And I'll reach out to him. Have you tried talking to someone like Castro or Glassman? I mean, Glassman doesn't really get into the competitiveness of CrossFit, but Castro knows everything about every event, and why not go to him and say, look, I know, he's at the head of competitive CrossFit. Say, hey, look, I'm going to do this. Do you know, just in your off the top of your head, who's the best or who is good? This is what I want to put a stamp on it. And, can you help me out? Can you at least give me a number that I can shoot for? Because it's one thing if you're like, it's going to suck is if you're like, okay, so Josh Bridges has the best time at 34 and you come in at 31. You're like, I beat him. And then some guy posts himself doing a 29.
Go for it, dude. I'm not trying to be the best in the world and like wave my hands and say, look at me. I'm just trying to make use of the crazy time that we're all experiencing right now.
Of course you are, and I get it too. It's like you're giving yourself something to do. It's a challenge. No one, because of the times we're living in, there's no competition. You're making an online competition. You're like, hey, I'm doing this. We've all done this. Let's look. I'm going to try to beat everybody. This is why I'm putting you on the fucking show, because I think it's commendable in a way that it's like we're bored. You're doing something exciting, interesting, and I'm going, hey, I'm going to do Murf that day. At first I was like, I'll compete against you, and I was like, I'll do it without the vest, and I'll do it partitioned, and I'll beat you. And then when I started hearing you were doing less than 34, I was like, oh my god, I'm not even going to do it. And I think I did it the other day in 36, and I was like,
right. I think sub 30 will be a record it's really, I don't know anybody's getting close to. And I've talked to a bunch of people who do this so much, and like the Armins and the people who like the guys.
What did Armin have to say? What was his knowledge of it? Because he's so nerdy about this stuff.
I mean, I told him I'm going to go sub 30 and I'm going to set the world record. And he's like, I think you can do it. He didn't tell me like, oh, I know this person. Like when I've been mentioning to the CrossFitters that I'm talking to that I'm going to go sub 30, nobody's like, oh, well, I could do that. They're all just like, holy shit, no chance. So it's just like me talking to Matt Frazier about doing a clean and jerk contest against him. Like, we're just not the same athletes. We're not in the same caliber. Not to say that Matt Frazier
so apparently
great in Murf.
Another guy I tried to get a hold of, Jared Moon. John, who I was going to talk to you about, John Sullivan, who's the guy who did it for 24 hours, mentioned there's a guy named Jared Moon that has some pretty amazing times at it. I guess, when you do it for 24 hours, he's done some research on it, knows a lot about it, but he did it for 24 hours. So, and he wished you well. He said, good luck, and thinks that's great, and thinks you should should break the record, whatever it may be. And he actually had some pretty good times of his own. John did, but not when he was doing the 24-hour because he was pacing himself. But his, I forget what he told me. It's in this episode, but he mentioned what he did it in. But he partitioned.
The whole thing is how well can you manage? Like, you have to be able to run around a 6-minute mile if you want to have an incredible time between the 6 and 7 minute window. And if you're sub 6, then that's incredible. You have to be able to have this incredible capacity to do push-ups and squats. That's it. Like, you can't. The squats aren't the killer, but you have to be really diligent and timely with it. Like, I'm at the point now where I put a 60-second clock on with a weight vest, and I'm doing EMOMs, and I'm going as fast as I can. Like, it's not even a strength thing or a capacity thing. It's a speed thing. And the push-up's a capacity thing. Like, eventually, you're pushing your body with small muscle groups over and over and over again, and you have to change your hands width in and out. You have to change your elbow width in and out. Like, it's just a game of chess. Like, you have to burn out small things to use big things later.
Is there a chance of blowing up? I mean, is there a chance that you could just explode, that you go out too hard and all of a sudden you're like, I didn't pace myself right?
No. I mean, listen, dude, I'm at 5,500 feet right now, and I'm running on a mile track that's got a hill on it. And so my mile times are already drastically going to be faster once I go down to sea level and I don't have this kind of terrain. And the other thing is, the way I've been testing it is, like, 1 week I'll do something that's shorter and more intense than Murph. Like, tomorrow I'll do a 10-minute EMOM. I'll run a hard mile with a weight vest on, do a 10-minute EMOM with 25 push-ups and 25 air squats for 10 minutes straight. And that's just far faster than the pace that I should be holding for Murph.
How fast did Kara Pierce do it? Because she's Carrie Pierce. She's the fastest woman at it, I think. She's got the world record for a woman.
Once again, you got to do your research, dude. That's partitioned. She did it in, I think, 36 minutes. The fastest chick in the CrossFit industry is Sam Briggs, and she's like 39 minutes. She was like 30 seconds or something behind the guys that year.
Because it's interesting. I thought maybe this might be one of those events where a woman could, because of the gymnastic, like the weight level and everything, that a woman, but then adding the weight vest. Well, how much is the women's weight vest?
14 pounds.
14.
It's insignificant.
Yeah. But I was going to say maybe it's one of those events that, like, a woman could win.
Maybe. I don't know. I mean, that Mary thing was incredible, but I think the running, still, you're not going to find a girl who's going to outrun us in a vest. And then I think just over time, the capacity for that, I think, will just break down. But, I mean, Sam Briggs got really fucking close, so what do I know?
Wait, you said she ran 39.
39, but the best time is done by BKG at like 38:40.
Oh.
So it's close, dude. They're really, really close. So...
Yeah, Sam Briggs can run. She can move. Remember when she, in that run up at the ranch in Aroma, she kept right up with Frazier.
Right.
That was incredible. So she's got some legs on her. Yeah,
it should be done. It should be done. I think it's a great experience. I'm trying to rope more and more CrossFitters into it every single day.
Have you talked to the guys at Morning Chalk Up?
Yeah. I'm giving them information. I talked to them a couple days ago, and I wanted to make sure that I had all the details possible because I'm still waiting on the green light from a couple other competitors who are showing up. But the details of when it's happening, how it's happening, and the goal time is all going to be the same. It's just who attends.
Have any big name CrossFitters said like they're interested at all?
Oh, I mean, Jacob Hepner's coming. Danny Spiegel's coming.
Okay, that's good to hear. What about Chandler?
Chandler can't come because he's got the no travel ban by the military. Noah was supposed to come, but I don't know if he's going to be able to come. Like,
he froze.
It's just like because of the circumstances we're in, things change every single day.
Yeah, well, I was talking to you earlier. I think the only guys that could challenge you in this that it's in their wheelhouse is someone like a Fikowski, someone like I guarantee Frazier could do a good time at this. I mean, he would really crush it. But I think Noah probably doesn't have the wheels on him to be able to handle the 2 miles fast enough.
Whoa.
It's a nice
See how
shirt.
buff I look these days, bro?
Yeah.
See this shirt?
It's nice. It's a nice tattoo. It's almost.
It's called Murph titties.
It's almost as good.
Yeah.
Why don't you get a Murph tattoo?
I have a rule. It's 4 in, 4 tattoos, 1 in, 1 out. So I got to burn one off to get a new one.
Yeah, I think if you break the world record, you should get Murph tattooed on your forehead or maybe your tongue.
My butthole.
Inside lip, lower lip.
Yeah. It's going to happen, man. It's going to be great. I mean, I think it's such a cool workout, and it's one thing that everyone can do right now. Like, if you can't do pull-ups, you don't have a pull-up bar, just do something else, but you'll still have a blast.
I was doing the other day, I was doing it to train with and my daughter goes, she hates to go to bed. So she goes, Dad, can I come out and work out with you? And I'm like, yeah, sure, but you got to do the workout. She goes, okay, what are we doing? She's 5. I go, we're doing, I was doing 10 rounds of Cindy. And I go, I'm just doing, because I run sprints, I go, I'm going to do 10 rounds of this. You got to do, oh, no, it was more. It was push-ups, pull-ups, sit-ups, squats. So it was 10 rounds of 10 of each. And I go, so I'm doing 10 rounds of 10 of each of these. And she's like, okay. And she goes to me, I don't want to do the push-ups. And she goes, can I do jumping jacks instead? And I go, sure. And she goes, I only want to do 5 rounds. And I was like, sure. Just anything to keep her out of my hair so I could do it. And I gave her the TRX to do her pull-ups. And so by the time I finished 10 rounds, Izzy had finished 13.
Really?
Yeah.
That's fine.
So I got crushed by and she was doing sit-ups, squats, the TRX pull-ups, and jumping jacks. And I was doing push-ups, pull-ups, sit-ups, squats. And she legitimately beat me, and she does good squats. She goes all the way down. The TRX pull-ups, it's a little awkward for a 15-year-old. And the jumping jacks, I mean, they don't count for anything, but her sit-ups are perfect, too. So,
dude, all my buddies with kids, they're all giving me these dad bod stories about how they're just getting their ass handed to them by their kids.
But I didn't think I'd get beat by a 5-year-old.
You should go have a dad's club with Cullen, dude. He's going up to my house to go pick up equipment today. Don't be such a weirdo.
All right, I will. I'm going to talk to a couple more people, hopefully, about this. It does seem like everybody's radio silent, and I don't know why. I don't know if it's the pandemic, everybody's just freaked out, or if it's because nobody likes this subject, or they're sick of the Hunter McIntyre grandstanding. But I don't even tell them that. I'm like, hey, we're just talking about Murph.
That's right, and then you just hook them, right? Once they're hooked, you just freaking bring it in. Well, Hunter's coming to the party.
Yeah.
Dang it!
Look,
I
Look, I love competition. I want to see something out of this. I want to see. I've always loved Murph. It's something I can do. I want to see other people do it. I want to see. I love to see records broken. I hope you do it. I hope you do break the record. I won't be there with you. Where are you going to be? North Carolina?
North Carolina. I'm going to obliterate this.
You know what's funny?
I'm excited.
Where is Fort Bragg in North Carolina?
I have no clue. I think it's like below Raleigh by like an hour.
All right, here's the deal. We might be going to stay with our in-laws in Charlotte. And if we do, I will come. I'll come down. I'll wear my mask and my gloves and my hazmat suit and be in my bubble. And and I won't do it. I am going to do. I'm going to do it that day. But all right.
More importantly, could you guys listen? It's nothing to do with the record. This is more about a charity. It's going to be an awesome cause. Let's kick this thing's ass. We'll break the record, and we'll break the charity numbers that we're trying to achieve. So please check it out. Even $1 makes a difference, and I appreciate it.
All right. Well, thanks, Hunter, and good luck, and hope to see you soon.
Miss you, Eddie.
Bye, Hunter. Oh, my God. Time to talk ice cream. How many of you need ice cream like I do? I need it at least once a week. And I've tried every kind of like healthy ice cream, and none of them add up. But I have one for you that's real ice cream. It's considered real ice cream. Like, it's not like a light ice cream. It's a real ice cream. It's got the real ice cream experience with real ingredients. And it's better for you than regular ice cream. How do they do this? It all has to do with the sugar they use. It's sweetened with allulose, which is a natural occurring sweetener. Okay? Do you know what allulose is? You're like, oh, that sounds like one of those weird. All it is the same sugar that they use, and they don't use. It's what's in figs, dates, and maple syrup. It has 1/10 the calories of cane sugar and no impact on blood glucose, meaning it's not going to spike your blood sugar levels. That's the important part, okay? And unlike artificial sweeteners and sugar alcohols, which are produced with chemicals, The allulose in this ice cream is produced through a natural enzymatic process, so it doesn't metabolize like traditional sugar. Now, that might sound all sciencey for you. Just know you're eating something that's really sweet, that's really natural. It's like sugar, but it doesn't have the bad things that sugar has. But this ice cream has fresh milk in it, which we all like. Milk, well, most of us like milk and cream, and it's got 16% butterfat, making it, that's why it's classified as super premium, real ice cream. And it comes from Real Good Foods. The company's name is Real Good Foods. I say it, my joke is they should be Real Great Foods, really great foods. The only way you can get it, you got to go to their online store, which is realgoodfoods.com. They've been selling out. So get on there, check it out. They've been selling out because everybody wants it. realgoodfoods.com. You are going to get a bundle now of realgoodfoods.com, which includes 5 pints for $49.99 and free shipping. $49.99. If you get on now, go on. Here's their flavors. Chocolate, Tanzanian vanilla, mint chocolate chip, my favorite. Peanut butter chocolate chip, my second favorite flavor. And then you get a free limited edition mystery flavor. You know, when you go into the store, they're always like, hey, the flavor of the day is, well, these guys have a limited edition mystery flavor. So order now and you're going to get the free limited edition mystery flavor pint and free shipping, okay? So get on there, realgoodfoods.com, or you can go to your local vitamin shop, but you probably don't want to go there now, so go to realgoodfoods.com, get yourself 5 pints for $49.99, free shipping, and you get that limited edition mystery flavor. Try it out. Let me know what you think. Tell me what your favorite flavor is. Well, hello. I'm so excited to have you on the show right now. I don't think we've ever met. I can't believe it.
I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think so either.
Should have. I mean, we've had all of the top athletes on the show, and you are one of the best ever of all time, and still so young.
Thank you.
Which is incredible. How many games have you been in?
5.
Oh, my God. 5?
Yeah, 5 in a row.
And you're how old?
I'm 30.
That's crazy.
Thank you.
I think it's time to retire.
I joke around with my coach sometimes about that. I'm like, I'm 30. I'm over the hill. I'm done.
No, you're not.
And he's like, no, you still got plenty of good time. I'm like, you're right. I'm fitter than ever right now. So you just got to, stay in your head and be like, I mean, Kristen Holte and Sam Briggs are like perfect. Like Sam's 36?
Yeah.
And she's amazing. And Kristen Holte just podiumed last year and she's 33 or so. So, I mean, they're inspiration. So no excuses for me.
I just have to interrupt for a second and say, is that a Michigan accent?
It is.
Yeah.
You're good.
That's hilarious. I grew up in Pittsburgh, so I have a weird Pittsburgh accent. And I knew you went to University of Michigan, though, right?
Yes, I did. I was born and raised in Ann Arbor, and then my dream was to go to the University of Michigan and do gymnastics there on the varsity gymnastics team.
Which you did?
Yes, I did.
Well,
from the age of 8, that's what I said I want to do. All the other girls were like, Olympics. I tried that route for a little while, but at the end of the day, I wanted to go to the University of Michigan and do gymnastics there. So.
And are you and Julie Fouché friends?
I mean, not necessarily friends. We're kind of like acquaintances. And apparently, like, we had a class together in college that we didn't know about. She was on the club team and I was on the varsity team. And we never practiced at the same time. They would practice after us. So we didn't really get to talk to them very often. But after I graduated, and I didn't get into CrossFit right away, but I got into it a little bit later, and I saw Julie, obviously, and they're like, oh, she went to Michigan. I was like, wait. And then we met. She's like, I think we had a class together. I was like, yeah, you're right. I was like, it's crazy. So like we kind of know each other, but we definitely didn't know each other in college.
Did you start with Doug at Hyperfit?
No, I actually didn't even start CrossFit in Michigan. I started in New York. So I was in Michigan. What's up?
That's the weirdest thing in the world, for somebody to start CrossFit in New York and be successful.
Yeah, right. Well, because the place I actually started CrossFit was a studio apartment. It was like a 650 square foot duplex studio apartment. And the owner of the gym that I train at now, which is an actual CrossFit, did just a lot of small group training in that space. Like, there was no rings, obviously no ropes, bar. You could only do pull-ups. You couldn't do any bar muscle-ups. And the ceilings, if you're over 6 foot tall, you couldn't lift a bar over your head with bumper plates. So
what was the name of that CrossFit?
I mean, we called it CrossFit Spot because that was the name that like Billy was eventually going to name the gym. But it's kind of just like where he started out. Like I said, just got like a small team together, and we were actually like training more as like a competition team than having normal members. So it was definitely an interesting place to start, and that's where I actually trained for my first CrossFit. Well, obviously through the Open and regionals, and even for my first CrossFit Games was in that studio apartment. I would travel to other boxes on the weekends and stuff, but for the most part, all of my training took place in that apartment. I'm like, how did I do that? But then, I mean, like looking at the times right now, I'm like, well, I guess, you know, when there's a will, there's a way.
Do you still work? Like, did they advance to like a bigger gym and you stayed with them, or did you move on to another gym?
No, they advanced to a bigger gym and I stayed with them. And they've been open 3.5 years now. And
it's called CrossFit Spot?
Yep.
Where is it?
It's in New York City. It's Lincoln Center area. We were at 62nd in Amsterdam, but we just moved over to a new space on like 62nd and West End, basically.
Okay, because I spend a lot of time in New York, and I've been CrossFitting for like 10 years, and depending on where I'm staying when I'm in New York, I used to live there for a long time, for about 10 years. And
oh, awesome!
Depending on where I'm staying, that's where I usually CrossFit. But
yeah, makes sense.
Or what friend I have to go see, or whatever it is.
Yeah,
but I find New York like so hard to CrossFit. It's just it's not as easy as other places of like driving up, parking in a parking lot, going in. There's just like it's just so intense, you know. And so many places have like, hey, you can't drop the weight. Hey, you can't do this. Hey, we can't run here. Hey, we can't. There's so many. I remember one gym I worked at on the Upper East Side. During the workouts, you'd have to run down like 3 flights of steps or 4 flights of steps out onto the street, down the street, back up, and then back up 3 flights of steps. And it was just, I mean, it was fun. I liked it. And I think it's great, but it just wasn't normal.
Yeah, no, definitely not. And that's like, we used to be in a basement, and the members would always be like, wait, so does the staircase count during the run? And for a while, like our 400 meter, it did not. And we're like, it actually should, because it's harder than normal running. And so then we ended up kind of reducing the distances outside to take into account the staircase.
What took you to New York, though? I know you're a, kinesiology major. And mostly people in the fitness world shy away from New York City because of the high cost of living. And unless you have some kind of, you know, especially Manhattan, you know, that's like all finance people that are making tons of money in the stock market. I have doctor friends that are like, I had to leave New York. It was too expensive.
Yeah. No, it is crazy. And a lot of people are like, why do you choose to live in New York? I'm like, I don't like, so I ended up moving to New York because I was just comfortable in Michigan, like born and raised in Ann Arbor, went to school there. I knew exactly what I had, and I knew that I wanted something bigger. I wasn't sure exactly what it was. And I was just kind of I was personal training at the time at a Globo gym, and I was dating this guy, and he was a fitness model, and his agency wanted him to move out to New York. And he's like, can I move? Like, do you want to come with me? I'm like, sure. Like, I want something different. I want something just like a big change. And one of my best friends moved to San Francisco, and then my boyfriend at the time was moving to New York. So I'm like, eeny, meeny, miny, mo. And I chose New York, even though a couple of years before I had visited, and I'm like, I don't know how people live here. Like, no thanks. But I've known a few people, like you said, in the fitness world that have moved to New York and then moved back to Michigan because they're like, no, it wasn't for me. Yeah. But then there's also been some people that moved to New York, mainly, like you said, like finance people and stuff, that come and love it and never go back home. And I'm like, I mean, I said, I know I need a change, and I know something that's going to kind of get me out of my comfort zone. And the opportunity came, so I felt the need to take it. And that was back in May 2013. And I still just like was personal training. I found a Globo gym that I really enjoyed, did like a powerlifting meet. And like I said, just got a bunch of clients, and someone reached out, the owner of CrossFit Spot actually reached out to me about doing CrossFit. And I had a friend that had been consistently telling me that I should do it. And so finally I was like, in New York, I just decided, okay, this is going to be it. I'm going to try it. So I started in New York, so I don't really know any differently. But I mean, I know running through the streets of New York and the small spaces aren't exactly ideal, and there's a lot other places that it could be a lot easier, but I don't know, I've just like found my life here, and I've done CrossFit. My whole CrossFit life has been here, and I have an amazing coach that I love to death.
Who is your coach?
He's actually out, Justin Kotler.
Okay.
And he owns a gym, CrossFit Dynamics, out in Queens. So that's actually like an ideal place to do CrossFit. There's no parking lot or anything like that. What
is his gym in Queens?
CrossFit Dynamics.
Okay, CrossFit Dynamics. Oh, that's what you said. I'm sorry for not listening to that. Because I was in my head, I was thinking about my friend's got a gym in Long Island City, Jay Hatchadorian, which is a great gym, CrossFit gym. And he used to be a comedian with me years and years ago in New York City. I moved there in '96, and I can relate to what you're saying because I was like, I'll never live in New York. And then they were like, come to New York. And I had to. And I got there, and I remember thinking, this place sucks. And about 6 months later, I was like, I could never live anywhere else. And I loved it so much. And then after about 10 years, I moved to L.A., and I didn't want to go. I went begrudgingly. I got a TV show and had to go out to L.A. And when I got here, I hated L.A. And now when I go back to New York, I'm like, ooh, get me back to L.A. as soon as possible. And it's just so funny. You just become accustomed to like where you are, and you fall in love with it, and you stay with it. And that's what my wife says about our marriage. She just gave in. But
how long have you been?
6 years. She'll get out soon. She's got to wait till the kids get old enough. And
1 year at a time, right now, right?
Yeah. So let's get to it. You have an exceptional Murph time. Exceptional. I think what was yours? About 39.
Yeah, I honestly can't remember the exact time. I was hoping you could.
I don't. I looked up. You're listed as the world record, I think, that I found on the internet. It's so hard to find the records or anybody that knows anything, or it's so weird. I've been talking to so many different people about it because it's coming up in 23 days, and everybody does it. It's an amazing thing. It's for an amazing cause, and to bring awareness, also to raise money. And Hunter is a big showboater, and he wants to break the record this year because he's got good reason. He's like, look, everybody's stuck inside. Nobody has weights right now. It's hard to do these CrossFit competitions. This is practically one. I mean, it's even tough with the pull-up bar. This is one everybody can kind of get ready to do. And so he was like, I'm going to do it. And I was like, well, if anyone can do it, he's built for it. But I just thought it's weird. When it comes to Fran, you can find 1 million people with their Fran time. But this Murph thing, it's like the elusive kind of like, everybody's like, well, I think I don't remember. I passed out in the, at the 22-minute mark. Yours was in a competition, though.
Yeah, so mine, I actually just found it. It was at the CrossFit Games.
Which one?
In 2016.
2016, and that was at the not the Staples Center. What am I calling it?
That was in Manhattan Beach.
Yeah.
That was in California.
Wait, did you? That's not the one you did on the beach. The beach one was Santa Monica.
No. No, it wasn't at the beach.
Yeah.
It was just it was out in California.
And did you guys do it partitioned or unpartitioned?
So that year was partitioned.
Okay.
It was 5 rounds for the squats, the pull-ups, the push-ups, and the squats. So
you would go 5 rounds. Would you run an 800 then?
No, it was a mile. So it was a mile run, and then it was 20, 40, 60, 5 rounds, and then a mile run.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it was partitioned 20, 40, 60. Oh, that would be interesting.
Yeah.
That's a neat way to... I love breaking up different ways. I like doing it for fun. I did it the other day with 800s. I did an 800, then 5 rounds of Cindy, then an 800, then 5 rounds of Cindy, 800, 5 rounds of Cindy. So, and I think I was able to go a lot faster that way.
Yeah. Because you don't hit that muscle fatigue, especially in the push-ups.
Push-ups are the
I feel
worst.
like that's where it just slaps you in the face. You start going, and you're like, oh, this is fine, this is good. And then all of a sudden you're like, push-ups has never been this hard in my life.
But I think it's one of those things where the women are almost doing it the same as the men, because that 5 pounds is so insignificant in the vest.
Yeah.
So And the fact that women are up there and your times are, pretty they have Josh listed doing it at 34 that day, but I'm sure your 39 was up there with a lot of the men.
Yeah, so I actually just looked, and it's actually 36, 42, 42.
You did a 36, 42.
Yep.
Okay. I wonder what you would rank. Can you see it on there? What you ranked against the men? Because you're probably in the top.
I can look and see, maybe.
I could probably open it too. I just don't want to blow this.
Yeah, well, Matt Frazier got 35, 47.
Yeah, so you're right there with all the dudes. Go ahead. With the gymnastic and anything running endurance-wise, it's like women are closing the gap so much on the men.
Yeah, which is just like so crazy, but also so cool to see.
I love saying it when I get in arguments, and I'm not by any means am I a feminist, but I love when I hear guys go, "Hey, women can't even qualify for this or this or this," in some kind of like fireman thing or military, and I go, "Really?" Because I'll show you a whole group of girls that'll beat the shit out of you in every event you guys do, guys.
I love it.
And I think that's really impressive. 36, 42. What? And Matt did it in what?
35, 47.
Yeah.
And I actually would have gotten third with the guys because Noah got...
That's awesome.
All right. Thank you. Because, Noah got 37.02.
Was Sam in it that year?
Yes, Sam was in it.
And how did she do?
I know Katrin got second. Sam got fourth.
Okay, see, you're a guest on the show right now, and I've made you like my sidekick. Show me, pull up.
I got you.
Hunter thinks he's going well below 30.
Okay.
And
I'll believe it when I see it.
And unpartitioned. Good. I'm glad you... I agree.
Unpartitioned?
Unpartitioned. He's going 100, 200, 300.
Wow. Yeah, no.
So he says he's running 2 6-minute miles.
Okay.
And then he said, he's just got to go under 18.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
We will see.
Like I said, I'll believe it when I see it. I mean, that would be very impressive, and props.
Yeah.
Props to him.
Yeah.
I guess if you're, like, just training for that, then maybe, but that seems like a lot of, like, even cutting off 5 minutes is a lot to cut off of Murph. But
well, I think in it, the one thing is how good your mile run is and how good that second mile is. And to him, he runs like a 4:15 mile, so
yeah, that's true.
It might actually be that way. And he's a strong guy. You throw the weight vest on him, but he's put on a ton of weight since he's been CrossFitting and not OCRing. Yeah. So he's already super heavy. You throw on 20 more pounds, he's a heavy dude. I used to do it always without the vest. Then one year I went, I'm going to do it with the vest. And I literally almost died. I was like, that last mile was the hardest mile I've ever done in my life. I was like, this is terrible. I was like, you're like, why would just 20 pounds and it's ruining my life.
Yeah, right.
I'm amazed by your time. Are you going to do it this year?
I usually don't do it. Like usually my coach doesn't program it.
Yeah, it's kind of too much.
Yeah, he's like, there's not a reason for you to do it unless we know it's coming in a competition. But like, I mean, for me, like I have to be careful with my Achilles. Like I'll do enough running and then it starts to act up and everything. But we have been trying to add like a little bit more weighted vest runs, and my Achilles has been feeling great. So it's just something that we have to program smart for. And yeah, I usually unfortunately, I never do Murph outside of it, like being at the games and everything. And like I said, I don't know, like one of my coach a couple of years ago was like, you can do it if you want, just for fun. Like your time doesn't matter. I'm like, I can't not do it for time. Like that in my head just doesn't, the two things don't go together.
So with all this, everything being stopped and halted, what are you doing? Are you trying to prepare for like online competitions for, just to get ready for the games? Or are you focusing on any of these other ones? What's going on with you?
Yeah. So right now I have the Rogue Invitational has switched to an online competition in the middle of June. So I'm focused on training for that. And I was telling people, I was like, for a little while, I lost a little bit of motivation, like I was supposed to do West Coast Classic out in California in person. And, that got postponed / it's probably going to end up getting canceled like everything else. So it was kind of hard, like for a little while. And then, I have to remember why I do it. It's not just for the competitions, though those help for motivation reasons. But I do love what I do, and having Rogue be online, I think just, helped me refine my motivation and kind of, get back into the groove of it. And we still know what's happening with the game. So I'm just going to continue to push and train hard until, we know exactly what's going to go down. And if they are the ranch, if it is at the ranch, then we know there's going to be a lot of running, which I've been doing more of recently. So I was like, at least that's a positive, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. And if it is at the ranch, to be honest, and I know none of you like this because it's smaller, it's not as much exposure, it's not as much sponsorship money, it's everything gets scaled down. But for I've loved CrossFit from the beginning, and I love the ranch. I love the whole idea of being in this secret location where no one's there and it's just people that are diehards. And so for the fan, maybe there's not that fan experience, but I don't like going to NFL games or NBA games or anything like that. I'd rather go watch a high school football game because the commercialism's out of it. And I just like that it's a bunch of people who really want to see who the fittest is and go head to head. And so I'm really looking forward to it. And I'm sorry to feel that way because a lot of you make your living that way and it's probably hurting you. And I'm sorry about that. But just know that the fans out there are excited to see you compete, do it, and do it there. It's gritty. It's different. It's not all flashy, and I think it's going to be great. So as long as it happens, which I think it will. I think it's far enough in advance, and it's outside, and people maybe they just don't allow any kind of audience, and it could happen easily.
Yeah, so that's what it sounds like. And it sounds like, they're just going to have to figure out how many people as well, because, the last couple of years the last year it was all the national champions, and it was supposed to be that way this year. But at the ranch, who knows what's going to happen as far as lodging and everything. So someone was actually suggesting that they might do an online qualifier just to reduce the number of people and then send the top however many out to California. So I don't know. It'll be interesting, continue to train hard. And it's going to be streamed and everything either way. Like you said, I doubt there's going to be live spectators, but it's always motivation having the fittest to the left and to the right of you while you're on the competition floor. So I think no matter what happens, it's going to be good and it's going to be a good test of fitness.
But would you say your training level is up to what you do every other year?
Yeah. I would
great.
say it's right about the same. Yeah.
That's great. That's,
it keeps me sane. It keeps me going,
It's amazing that you can keep that motivation through this, because just for the average gym goer, they say a lot more people are working out more than usual and doing what they do. And a lot of online programming and exercise videos. I know you have one, a site that they're doing better than ever, but for me, I find the motivation hard. I'm I don't know why, but it's just you get, and I'm not a very depressed person ever, but it's just when's this going to be over? There's always something to kind of look forward to. I surf a lot, so I'm I want to stay in shape for surfing. I'm when am I ever going to surf again? So I commend you that you can keep that, consistency and that's why you're one of the best in the world, and I'm recording this in an old school bus. But
no, it's just, it's kind of my job. So,
what?
I have to do what I have to do to stay fit. And I know the other girls are training hard, so I always have to keep that in the back of my mind. And thank goodness, like I said, I love my coach, and he's great to keep me accountable. So anytime I'm not feeling a workout or anything, I'm okay, well, coach is I actually have 3 coaches. But I'm one of the 3 is going to ask how the workout went or whatever. If I give them a bad time, they're going to be what happened? So I know, in the back of my mind, it's not just me, it's other people too. So I kind of use that to keep myself motivated and keep me going and push hard on those days that, I'm tired or don't exactly feel like working out or pushing as hard as I should.
Well, I was going to ask you too. You have this is not. I mean, it's a full-time job for you, but it's also you've got your own site too that you do. What's it called? It's Power Abs. Is that what? Did I get it right? PowerAbs.com.
Yep. Yeah.
And it's you do programming and exercise. I should send my wife that way. She would she's picking up on all this stuff now during the quarantine.
Yeah.
But so PowerAbs.com. What is it? If you want to explain briefly.
Yeah, so it has been great for during this quarantine time. I started it a little over a year ago, actually. So it's a 30-day program that's built to help you get a stronger core, better looking abs, less back pain, kind of all around those kind of results. And a lot of it's built off of my 18 years of gymnastics and just having a super strong core and obviously good looking abs. I've had abs since I can remember. I think a lot of it's just gymnastics. You do core and ab workouts all day long, all the time. And that's why they have such strong cores. So it's just different movements than what most people do at the gym. And everyone has said that it's a fun way to train your core because most people don't like traditional ab movements, or it's just you're tired at the end of the workout. And it's 10 minutes. All you need is a floor. It's 5 days a week. And I've been able to do a lot of live workouts mainly on Facebook. I've done a little bit of Instagram as well. So I get to work out with anybody and everybody can do it. As long as you have a Facebook account, you can go in and watch it. So whether you have the program or not, you can jump in and do some power abs with me just to build that solid core, which I believe is the foundation for everything, whether you're looking to improve on your weightlifting or your gymnastic stuff. Or I've had, like I said, a few people that have had reduced back pain, like this guy who rides his bike hundreds of miles a week messaged me and was like, this is literally the first time I've ever been on one of my bike. I've ever rode my bike and not had back pain. He's like, I started doing your ab program 3 weeks ago and it's just amazing. Being able to ride my bike and all I can think about is, wow, my back doesn't hurt. So whether you're looking, like I said, for better abs or stronger core for weightlifting, things like that, I've had a lot of people reach out and be like, now I can do more toes to bar, or I don't chicken wing my bar muscle ups, or I'm PRing my lifts. It's just been really cool to see and have that. And it helps keep me motivated during the quarantine too. Cause I'm like, I'm going to be live in front of people. I got to make sure that I'm not stuffing my face all day long, especially with Easter candy and Cadbury.
So it's PowerAbs.com and you're,
it's actually Pierce Pointers, PEARCE Pointers,
okay.
POINTERS.com/PowerAbs.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. And your Instagram is?
Carrie Pierce CrossFit, KARI Pierce, PEARCE CrossFit.
Well, it's been an honor to talk to you. That time is ridiculous that you did it in.
Thank you.
You're a freak of an athlete, and thanks for helping out. And I look forward to seeing you probably on the computer, watching you at the ranch. So good luck in it with everything, and thanks for doing the show.
Awesome.
Okay.
Thank you so much for having me on.
Okay.
Bye.
So that's it, everybody. Thanks for listening to Wadcast Podcast. As always, I want to thank all our sponsors today. MacroStacks. Get on there. Get their app, macrostacks.com. And it's a web-based app. Again, I want to mention that. Check out realgoodfoods.com, realgoodfoods.com for the best ice cream out there. And Eat the 80. Eat the 80. Eat the 80. That is the best tasting food out there. I'm not kidding. If you want some prepackaged food that's like you're going to throw in the microwave and eat, or you can put it in the stove, whatever you want, you're not going to have anything better. I swear to you. Eatthe80.com. And also, thank you guys for listening. Please, help us through these times. Go to our Patreon, patreon.com/wadcast or wadcastpodcast.com/Patreon. $5 can get you Maya Pucks, Leopard Claw, $5. I know these are tough times. People don't have money. If you have money to give, please give it. Please support the show. This is how I'm making my living, this show. Comedy's dead. Comedy is dead. And what else is going on? That's it. Go rate, review, and comment on iTunes. Next week, I'm going to read some good ones. So get your name mentioned on the show.